Hello everyone. Yes, it's good to see so many new faces here. This is Team Swinburne Formula SAE Information Night. This is the first information night for this semester. Here are the few things that we'll go over and discuss and probably help you guys better understand what Team Swinburne is, what SAE is, and how Team Swinburne can help you and you can help Team Swinburne. So we'll just go over what our competition is and what we do, and then after that we'll go deeper into what the actual team is, and then engineering and business sections, so you guys can better understand how you can contribute to the team. And in the end, we'll go quickly over the expectations. So when you're a Team Swinburne member, what is expected of you? So Formula SAE competition. So now Formula SAE competition is held at Calder Park in December. So in December, a lot of different universities, as you can see in the photo, come down with their own SAE vehicles and compete in different competitions like scrutineering, static events, and dynamic events. As the name is, static events are a lot of events like cost report, engineering presentation, business presentation related to the car, and dynamic events is actually when you race the car against other teams in different events like skid pad, acceleration, autocross. You'll get to know what these events are. So basically dynamic events is acceleration, skid pad, autocross, and endurance. Acceleration is just like which car can accelerate fastest for a certain distance. Skid pad is like a figure of 8 for testing your dynamics and how good the car performs. Autocross is one hard lap, so one quick lap around the course, and how you compete is your laps, and then there's a score sheet for different teams. And endurance is basically a longer, so it's same autocross lap but over 22 laps, and then it's basically the endurance of the car. And static events basically are design presentation, where basically there's a lot of industry people there, and you present your car's design to them, and they judge you on your car's design and how well you know what you've designed. Cost event is basically related to how good you can cost your vehicle, and there's also a prompt where you have to market your vehicle and how good you can come up with those things. And business presentation. And business presentation is basically when they give you a prompt where you this is a business case, and then you have to present how your car fits that business case. So this is the breakdown of dynamic and static events. This is a few photos of us from comp last year. You can see a lot of Team Swinburne people, and that was our car last year in the image. So a few of Team Swinburne's achievement over past 2 years. So in 2022 we did really good. We came third overall EV class, which is the electric vehicle class. So in Australia the competition is still divided in majorly 2 classes, EV and combustion. And there are very few teams in the combustion category, but it's still there. We came third overall in the EV class. We came first in the autocross event, which is basically one fast lap around the course, and we were the fastest in that. We came second in acceleration and third in endurance. In 2023, we came third in acceleration and 10th overall. So these were few of the past achievements that we had at the competition. Just the team in the 2 years of competition. This was 2022. That's 23. This is a video, a 2023 competition, how it went as a recap video. We can go to that. Caught up in the flashlight.
I came through. Confused, caught up in the fast life.
Yeah, so that's how like the competition was like. It's really fun. There's a lot of teams around, a lot of different people. Before I get ahead of myself, my name is Mukul. I'm the team lead for this year. We have Bradley here. He's the chief engineer, and we have Laura. She's the business lead, and you'll get to know all the different section leads in a second. Also, in the video, you might have seen another car. So our main car. Okay, so yeah, in the video you've seen this car, and also you might have seen glimpses of this car. So this is the car that we raced in 2019, and one of the other projects other than this car that have been doing for the past few years is converting this car into an autonomous vehicle. So we did take this car to competition last year. We came very close to running it as an autonomous vehicle. So these are like the two main projects in the team right now. So this is like our main competition electric vehicle, and that's an older vehicle that we're trying to convert into an autonomous vehicle. So these are like the two main things we do in Team Swinburne. Just a few things about it. We started in 1999, so it's been a really old team. So it started as a combustion team, so we were making combustion cars, and we converted to electric cars in 2011. So it's been 13 years since we've been, this will be the 13th year that we'll be making electric cars. And we've been working on the autonomous project since 2021. So yeah, a lot of experience like the team has making these vehicles, and like a big knowledge base, a big alumni base, a big industry base that you can get access to. So like I was just getting on to this, but why join Team Swinburne? It's very multidisciplinary. Like making these vehicles require experience from all the different. Making these vehicles require experience from all sorts of engineering principles, but not only that. As you see the video and you've seen the car, they look beautiful, and there's a lot of different sponsorship, branding, finance, and design. So like it's basically in any degree or any school from Swinburne is very useful to the team, and they help a lot. So this is not limited to just engineering or just a particular school. Like everyone from Swinburne is welcome to join. Industry linked, like what we are doing here is directly related to industry, and it's like the closest you can come to having hands-on experience before actually getting a job in the industry. It's student run, as you can see. All of us are students, like doing different degrees. As I said, it's hands-on experience. You get to learn a whole lot, and this being a part of Team Swinburne allows you to be industry ready. This just doesn't mean the experience you get, but also, like as you see on our merch and on the car, there are so many industry partners that help Team Swinburne, and you get access to those companies and those connections, which make it so much more easier for you to approach them and get jobs at those places. So that's all you get from joining Team Swinburne. So this is the team structure. So it's me, Mukul, team lead, and that's Bradley, chief engineer, and Laura, business lead. Then we have Irfan, who's here. He's the autonomous project lead. And then we have different sections. So engineering sections mainly deal with building and testing the car. And then we have business sections which help run the team. So there's frame and body. All the leads are here. Declan, Hugh, and Prashant. We have dynamics leads, which is Nam and Aiden. And power and electronics lead, which is Luke and Simone. All of them are here. I don't know why they're like not raising their hands and saying who they are. But, we have business leads. So Laura is the main business lead, and then we have media and marketing lead Sam Fonhoff sitting right there. We have design leads Jason and Richard. So there, and Jason's doing some photography over there. Sponsorship lead Laura's taking multiple roles this year, and yeah, like we're trying to like offload her so new people who are interested and want to learn can potentially go on to these roles. We have events lead. Which we have not finalized yet because we don't have enough members. So yeah, there's a lot of opportunities to expand in this team, and we have our finance lead, which is Jack. Sitting right there. So that's the basic structure of the team, and just to help run the team a bit smoother, we have a few other roles, which is workshop coordinator, which is Rafael, and HR manager, which is Mitch. These people help like run the team a bit smoother, keep organized. Yes. Bradley will give like a engineering overview.
Yeah, so as McCool mentioned, my name's Bradley. I'm sort of in charge of the sort of engineering side of the vehicle. And also as McCool covered, we're split up into 3 sections. So we've got frame and body, vehicle mechanics, and power and electronics. They're all going to get up and sort of go through each section, what it's about. But yeah, we have 2 vehicles that we're sort of working on, being TS24, which is an all-wheel drive electric vehicle, basically an iteration of last year's vehicle, and then TSAV24 as well, which is, again, we're continuing with the autonomous project. Yeah, cool. Get the frame body guys to come up.
Alright, g'day guys, I'm Hugh, one of the frame and body leads. Yeah, so we've also got Prashant, who I'm sure you guys will meet. He's excellent at CFD. He's a bit of a wizard at it. I guess like pretty much the main things we'll do in frame and body is we'll really drill in the composite like manufacturing. We'll teach you that. There's a lot more stuff than what we'll teach there is in pre-frame confusion and wet layups. There's a lot more we can do, and Declan's getting pretty good at it, if not already.
What stuff you can do.
Yeah. And then obviously we'll do a lot of CAD stuff, especially with like the aero parts, and the monocoque stuff as well. We'll do a little bit of CAD with that, but mostly with aero components at the moment. The finite element analysis. So yeah, I came from advanced diploma, so I can teach you guys a little bit of ANSYS static structural, which is good, which is a really valuable skill to learn. Knowing how to analyze where your failure will be in structures, and being able to redesign parts to make it optimized for its strength. And then the CFD, of course, like that's really valuable in your aerospace industry, and also just like simple things like the trucking industry, which is like super weird. You think, oh, we don't use that much, but like, the more efficient they make their vehicles, the better they'll be able to run on the road and be better fuel efficient. And then we do a lot of data analysis with MATLAB and Simulink. That's something you'll pick up a lot in bachelor's, and we'll further develop that because it's really important to be able to understand what the data is telling us about the car, especially from an aerodynamic standpoint. Next slide. So we've got a little bit of CFD up here. It's just like a slice shot, so you know we can do a lot more with our CFDs than that. But in essence, aerodynamics is really that balance between minimizing your drag, getting cooling for the car, and then also maximizing the downforce. And then it's really that, I guess, that dance between having all of those meshed well together to really, you know, optimize your vehicle for performance, as well as like reliability as well. Some things that we're going to do this year, we're going to do a new under tray. We're happy with, sort of happy with how the under tray went last year. We're going to fix some issues with it. So that'll be a pretty fun project. This is Prashad, everyone. So yeah, we'll be doing the we'll be doing a new under tray. It's going to be pretty fun. We'll check out the car tonight, and yeah, you'll get to see the nice underside of it, which looks super clean. And then we'll have the we're doing some new sideboards just because we're redeveloping the under tray, and those really go in tandem with each other. So yeah, they need to be redesigned. And then, you know, if we want to do some active aero that Prashant and I are working on for our machine design project, and we'll get you guys involved with that. It'll be mostly a task that we'll be doing, but you know, you guys can, you know, learn from us some pretty interesting ideas that we'll bring to as a project. And then, you know, we'll want to do some new fan shrouds and winglets. Yeah, and then what else do we want to do? We'll do brake ducts as well, better brake ducts, that would be cool. So, you know, lots of really interesting stuff. Some other things to point out. Yeah, so this is some of like the MATLAB stuff we do, and up here is the answers, and that is the aero pattern that we had from last year. So yeah, Declan, yeah.
Yeah, so chassis is the other section in frame and body. Literally what's holds the car together. We have a full monocoque made out of carbon fibre, which you have to test and then prove that it is structurally equivalent to any tube chassis the rules require. In chassis, you do a lot of composite work, given you have to make the whole chassis, which we're in the process of finishing up or starting to finish the second half now. You're going to do a lot of testing of carbon fibre panels to see how strong they actually are compared to how strong it should be in theory, and they get a break, which is cool. Unless it's the car that's breaking, we don't want that. So the key tasks are mainly monocoque manufacturing and design. We focus on the ergonomics of the car, so how the driver sits, if they can see the screen, see any dash, if they're comfy, if they're going to move around in the corners. We focus on any crashes, not that would ever happen, but anything required to withstand certain forces onto the car. And we also focus on sealing components so it's watertight, so none of the electronics get wet, hopefully. And all the hatches on the car front to access any parts of the vehicle.
G'day everyone. So quite like frame and body, we have had a bit of an engineering structure reshuffle this year where we've combined some of our engineering sections. So I'm Aidan, this is Nam. Now Nam was our chief engineer last year and is in his final year of engineering, whereas I am in my second year of engineering. Nam focuses on our drivetrain, whereas I focus on our dynamics package, but we both work together very closely. So dynamics, I usually like to think of it as sort of the final step in making sure that the car goes as fast as possible on track at all times. We focus largely on vehicle setup and making sure that it works as well as possible. This year, we are planning on making a slew of changes, most of which are up here. So, the biggest thing is a major redesign of the front-end vehicle dynamics package. It's currently very old, probably a bit unoptimized, and we really want to change that. Similar story for the rear end of the vehicle dynamics package, although we are more happy with that one than the front one. Additionally, we really want to alter or redesign our pedals. It's been a nightmare in recent years, and changing that is of utmost priority as well. On top of that, a reroute of brake lines or a redesign of them. I can't tell you how much of my life I've spent on that in the past year, so changing that would be fantastic. Top of that, rear jacking bar redesign. Due to the addition of our rear under tray here, it's a bit difficult to access, which is a bit annoying. On top of that, steering rack and column redesign. As per driver feedback, we think that'd be really good. Make the car a bit easier to drive. Top of that, how are you going to achieve this? You're going to develop your CAD skills. I came to this a year ago, no idea about anything whatsoever, and I've developed that for the past year. On top of that, you're going to gain an immense understanding of the fundamentals of vehicle setup, believe me, you will. And the adjustments required and the hands-on learning that comes as a consequence of that. We are a very hands-on section in vehicle mechanics. It's not all about dynamics, it's also about drivetrain, so I'll hand it over to Noel.
So similarly with dynamic powertrain, drivetrain is also a very drivetrain is also a very hands-on section. We are responsible for developing the planetary gearbox that we see on our vehicle because we are an all-wheel drive, so every corner has a gearbox. We also are in charge of the cooling system of the vehicle, so make sure that the motors and the inverters that power the car get cooled equitably because those motors output quite a lot of heat. And the major tasks that we are doing in drivetrain this year is maintain and validation of our planetary gearbox. It's a quite an old design, probably 4 years, and very complex design, so it takes a lot of time to validate and making sure that all things are working. We developed the tooth profile and everything like that on our own, so it's not an off-the-shelf component, so it took a lot of validation. Major redesign of the cooling system, so we're dropping the cooling loop number down from 3 to 2 to help reduce the complexity and also reduce the weight of the vehicle. Redesign the cooling jackets, it has been a nightmare in the last 4 years. And redesign the inverter cold plate to help the cooling line, help reduce the cooling number here. We also break stuff in powertrain, in drivetrain, important stuff. So you run that video, you hear the gearbox exploding.
Yeah.
Keep that one. Take all 4 corners.
Not the sound.
Yeah, that's not the sound you want to hear, but it runs so there. And yeah, over there you can see the CAD of us kind of our corner package with the motor, the bearings, the whole gearbox, and the tire integrate very tightly with dynamics. So that's why we are working together in one piece.
So I'm Simone, this is Luke, and my section leads with car and electronics. So we deal with all the electrical components of the car, the battery, everything from the battery to the motors. So some of the things that we do are PCB designs, schematics and board layouts. Around half the PCBs are custom designed on the car. We also design embedded systems and control systems, lots of programming and debugging in C, C++ and Python. Canvas is the protocol used to communicate around the car. We also design the high voltage battery pack, collect data, design sensor and actuator networks, model and analyze data, torque vectoring, and we assemble a lot of the components in the workshop. Oh, so not
Oh no.
Oh, here we go. Sorry, I skipped one for you.
Alright. I suppose we've just got some extra couple of slides of some things that P&E commonly deal with. So you've got your accumulator, high voltage accumulator up the top right there. That houses all of our batteries and all the control electronics related to that. We've got some PCBs down here. We custom design pretty much most of the PCBs in the car. You get a lot of experience working with them, designing them, assembling them. We've got another PCB over there, that's actually one of this year's designs. And I thought I'd put this image in because this year we're going to be building a test bench a lot like this, where we lay out the whole sort of electrical system on the vehicle, both high and low voltage, and we get sort of all the time to test, debug, do all of the work that we need to do to make sure when we put it in the car that everything works in the first, I won't say first time, but first couple of times. Yeah, that's pretty much it.
Yeah, we move on to the autonomous project. We have Irfan here.
So hello everyone, my name is Irfan. I'm very fortunate to be working on this project. Nicole was actually last year's lead in this project, and I'm still working very closely with him on this really exciting project. So what is Team Swinburne? Team Swinburne Autonomous Vehicle, TSAP. So basically what we've done is we've basically butchered the 2019 design, and we're basically trying to turn it fully autonomous. We have taken a step back from last year. So last year what we were trying to do is we were trying to have, well technically part of Formula FSA requires for autonomous vehicles to be both drivable and have a driverless feature. We have taken a step back this year and are focusing on just making this car fully autonomous. And we want to basically make this project so that in the future we can basically implement the autonomous systems in this vehicle into TS's vehicle. So hopefully in the future we have one car that's capable of doing those. But anyway, let's actually focus on what this is supposed to do. So the objective of this project is to make the car go bright. That's an inside joke. Once you join the team, you'll know. Or once you join the autonomous section, yeah, you'll understand. But yeah, make the car drive autonomously. And the things you'll learn in this section, of course, is a lot of coding for both embedded systems as well as for things like deep learning and localization. What else do you learn? So of course you'll be working with CAD, and of course you'll be working very closely with other sections as well. P&E is a great one, of course, and yeah, P&E is a good one. And yes, you'll also be working with a lot of actuations. So stepper motors, you'll be working with drivers a lot, and actually getting those skills down pat, which is really useful, especially if you're trying to do mechatronics as a major. Anyway, that's all from me. I'll pass it on.
Yeah, just to I'd add on to what Irfan said. Yeah, the autonomous car is another main project that we are doing, but most of the resources we'd be pulling out of the main sections that we have: vehicle mechanics, power electronics, and frame and body, to help finish that project as well. So there isn't per se an autonomous section, but all the different sections will be people from those sections will be assigned to tasks related to the autonomous vehicle. So it's literally just one team, and we'll try to make 2 vehicles. Yeah, sorry.
No, all good. So alongside all of the engineering stuff, the way that Formula Student and Formula SAE works is you basically have to run as sort of an amateur racing team. So that includes a lot of business work. So we cover everything that's not engineering related. So we organise the budget, we organise the design and delivery of the car, all of the merch that you can sort of see on some of the team members as well, we have to organise. We have to organise all of the events that we take the car to. So we go to a lot of historic racing and things like that, where we show off our car and get more sponsors who also help with the budget. Because we only get a certain amount from the faculty here, so the rest of it, to be able to sort of up our game and compete with the rest of the many unis across Australia and all of Australasia, we need a lot more money from our sponsorship than we're currently getting. And we also have media marketing, which does all of the promotion, all of that beautiful video that we saw before was all of our media marketing section. We also have a blog that we're running, we've got a website, we have to run all of our social medias, that sort of thing. Yeah, so that's our business section in brief. We often end up having a very wide variety of people and disciplines. So for example, I'm not doing business as either of my degrees, I'm doing creative writing and physics, so it's completely different, but I have a passion for motorsport, so you just apply that passion and get stuff done. To start with, we'll have Richard and Jason, the design section.
pretty basic design, makes everyone look pretty. So this is not us. Across the car. So we're in charge of delivery, as Laura glanced over before, but also the uniforms, uniform graphics, which also turns into media marketing, so the promotional material. We're also working with media marketing on that. But yeah, that's basically what design does overall across the whole year. It's pretty exciting. You learn a lot of design skills, and also if you're looking to do any form of photo, it's also quite good for that too, because you learn the whole design cycle, design process.
So next is also the design goals. So as one of the design leads, we try to have a really uniform identity as a team Swinburne. So you can see we have a lot of red, black, white. That's pretty much us. You can see even the previous years, although it may look different, we try to follow the same sort of style, similar sort of graphics. Each year we do try to enhance them or make new abbreviations, new styles, maybe tweak something to try have a little bit of a difference between each year so it's not the same. And we're always striving to create something which looks nicer than the previous years. Also, so it's all consistent, and also the design process. So as a design member, you also, because I'm not a design student, I'm from screen production, so it's video, but I've learned a lot of stuff to do with all the Adobe suite and also using CAD to actually get a 3D model of the delivery. So you can also use that, you can play around with how it actually looks, and we often bring the model into other softwares like Blender to render them to see how it'll look with proper lighting, the shadows, and also we do get to go out to sort of Dutton and we just have a look at the paint and how it actually looks, all of the colours in real life.
I guess I'll just go over. So back in 22, that was the car we had. That car was actually purely done with vinyl. It's the first time the team's done that. Last year we were a little bit lucky. Yes, it did cost us a little bit, but we got to get some fried paint on the car. We probably won't get it again, but it's something where you'll learn by skills of making a livery to suit, say, paint, but also vinyl, because the vinyl will react a little bit differently to paint, and the way you learn to design a livery will be different. But yeah, that's design for us.
You got the camera back, Jason? So, media and marketing. So, Laura pretty much covered the majority of the stuff we do. Thank you, Laura. But yeah, so we're in charge mainly of the team's public image. So that will include our social media accounts. So we have a Facebook, Instagram, a LinkedIn, and we've just recently started a TikTok page. So we're looking for people, interested in TikTok. We're going to be very relaxed with the TikTok and have a lot of fun with that. Part of our job as well is to capture whatever's happening, whether it be events that we go to. So we'll take photos there. For example, we're heading to Phillip Island. We'll be capturing plenty of photos and videos that'll go up on all our social accounts, as well as stuff like our promotional materials. So that included our launch video from last year, which revealed the car to the public, and also the video that you just saw before was done by us. Another important part about media marketing is sponsor obligations. So to get sponsors and keep sponsors, we want to keep them happy. So that includes whether it be in our contracts or whatever we've agreed to them, it'll be about promoting them and about keeping them happy through our content. We work very closely as well with designers, so you might have seen some of the stuff we've been posting, which just gives us the information about the events that have been coming up, including tonight. So we work with them about getting their material out. I think that's pretty much it. Yeah, we take all the photos and videos for the team, so a lot of the stuff you would have seen before was all done by our team. We're actually recording tonight, so some content will be going up tonight. And yeah, we work pretty much the whole year as well towards being able to reveal the car, because everyone at the launch night comes down with sponsors, so we want to make the car look as good as possible. We want to make everyone look as good as possible, and I'm sure the engineers will tell you how much they love having a camera shoved in their face. Especially Brian. So yeah, that's pretty much it for media and marketing.
So events doesn't currently have a section lead, so it's me. We have a ton of events that we do throughout the year. Some of it is to look good for our sponsors, as Sam's just been talking about. But some of it is also for us. So we also run social events because we are still a student team, like we want to have fun, we're not a business, nobody's being paid to be here. So we want to make sure that everyone's, happy, comfortable in the team and everything. So we do run a go-karting day. We do drinks at the end of the year. We're trying to do sort of more of that this year. Of course, that will depend on how many people we have around to help me with organising it. But we also have a lot of historic racing events. So for example, we're going to Phillip Island this coming long weekend. And a bunch of us are going to camp up there. We're going to take the car up. We're going to take the sim up. There's going to be lots of industry people there. So we'll be trying to look good for our sponsors, but also just trying to have fun and show off our car and look at some really cool cars, because there's going to be a lot of old famous McLarens, and apparently there's going to be a Ferrari there that hasn't been to Australia before, so it's going to be really, really fun. We also, of course, have to organise catering and things around comp at Calder Park at the end of the year, and also manage any major marketing opportunities. For example, we've got a stall up at the Melbourne Grand Prix, which is really cool. The Borundara Electric Festival, which got cut up there. Clearly I'm not part of the design team. And also just manage all of the Swinburne events. So clubs events, Welcome Back Week, O Week, this sort of stuff. Info night. That too. And of course, as Sam mentioned, launch night. So launch night is another big thing for the business team, because we invite all of our sponsors down and we finally reveal the car. So yeah, that's a fairly important one. But again, all of the business sections work really closely together. So no one is restricted to only working on one. And if you work on one, you will definitely be working with members of the other teams as well, other sections. Finance.
Finance. It's exactly how it sounds. It's just the money of the team, making sure that everything sort of gets paid for with all the parts. You spend a lot of time with the engineering sections as well, just figuring out why we need to buy things, and sometimes even getting in contact with suppliers as well to organise like purchase orders and getting things delivered. You also have to maintain the budget, make sure we don't run out of money. If you run out of money, well, you don't have a car. You have to deal with faculty on a regular basis, speaking to them, making sure things are getting paid for, generally making sure everything is just watertight as far as money goes. Sometimes you might even find yourself driving out I found myself driving out to, say, Killside to pick up some stuff from sponsors as well. Like Laura and others have mentioned, my degree does not relate to this at all. I'm a logistics major. But yeah, so it's just making sure that you don't run out of money at the end of the day, really. That's basically how finance goes.
And the last one, again, is sponsorship. So, like I said, sponsors are a massive part of how we run our team. And this year we want to do a major focus on getting sponsors, keeping sponsors, making them happy, making sure we look professional and, they look professional by being in association with us. So, yeah, we're also really in contact with the engineering team, because the kind of sponsors that we need is entirely dependent on the kind of services that the team requires. So it's really good because it teaches you how to interact with people in a professional way and make sure that you're getting and keeping clients and making sure that you're communicating with the people who need the product, and then also with the people who supply the product, and all of that. And this year we really want, even if you're not part of the sponsorship section, we really want everyone to be sort of doing their part to think, if I need this part for the car, do we think that we can get a sponsorship for that? Like, which kind of companies would we be ordering from anyway? Because there are a ton of companies out there who love to sponsor sort of student-run teams like this one for Formula student and things, because it's kind of like a gateway into the Formula One business and other motorsport business. Yeah, it's basically a crash course in how these motorsport teams work. Yeah, and we also have to draft contracts and negotiate the terms. So it is a little bit, I mean, it's not really, we don't delve in that much into the legal stuff, but it is, we do have to act as a professional team, so we can't just sort of get away with going, I don't know, I'm a student, not sure, like you do learn lots of skills around how to source the sorts of things that you need to put in a contract and all of that.
Yeah, that concludes all the sections, different sections of the team. I know you heard a lot of like abbreviations and you might have a lot of questions. You will get a chance to like talk to all the different section leads in detail about all those stuff, so don't worry. Bradley will just go over a few expectations.
So basically, yeah, there's a few expectations if you end up finding yourself in the team. We have a code of conduct that you need to agree to the terms of. It's basically all about respecting each other, keeping things clean, sort of your stock standard stuff that you'd be expected to do in the workplace. We're also looking for people who can commit at least 10 hours a week. So it's quite a big project. It's quite a fast timeline as well, so we really need a fair bit of effort. But trust me, if you put in the effort, you'll get so much out of this program. Yeah, also communicating clearly and frequently and respectfully. It's a safe space, and we want people to feel respected and valued in the team. And yeah, just keeping things clean. Sometimes the workshop gets cluttered, you know, you've got a lot of parts, a lot of tools, lots of fasteners, all that sort of gets everywhere. So just ask that everyone keeps it, you know, if they're working on something, they clean up after themselves. And also being proactive in your learning. So yes, we'll provide lots of resources for you joining the team, but you're going to have to do some of your own research, some of your own reading, and just, yeah, if you can be proactive in your learning, then you'll definitely get a lot more out of the project. Cool. So on now, I'm sure a lot of you, if not all of you, have filled out an expression of interest form. We're basically after that, as well as a CV. We'll have forms here we can hand out in the workshop. Cool. And basically you'll fill those out. You have until the 18th of March to do that, and then yeah, you can submit them along with the CV. You can either take photos with your phone and send it through to our email, which is on the form, or you know, hand it in at an info note. We've got another one next week. And then basically from there, section leads, so all these guys will reach out to you, organise an interview, just go through a few questions, what you're looking to get out of the team, and from there, successful applicants will find out through email, and then we'll organise an induction process for those people. I think that's it. Yeah. I think we might split into sections now, so if you have a certain section you're interested in joining, we'll get all the section leads to come up, maybe outside, so there's a bit more space, and you can sort of direct your questions to those guys.
So new members can wait here for a second, all the section leads can go outside. Yeah, just be there. You probably remember what section lead is for what section. If not, just go up and ask me. There are a few things that are going to happen tonight. Yeah, so there is a little bit of more information. Once you're done talking to the different